Become Sans in Minecraft using the Minecraft Origins mod. This origin was created by Slayer. This is the second version of the origin. He originally created it way back in June 2021. This version of it was released back in late December, fixing a bunch of bugs and making it overall better. This was made for 1.17.1, but as far as I can tell, a majority of things work, but some other people have also experienced crashes, so your mileage might vary. You also need the extra origin keys mod as well, just because there's a multiple active abilities on this mod as well. Sans is a 3 impact origin. The easiest enemy can only deal 1 damage. You only have 1 heart, however, you can dodge attacks. Going into survival mode, as you can see, you got a single heart, but the color of the heart is completely different. Instead of it being red, it is grey. That is because that's not 2 hit points you have there, that is only a single hit point disguised in a single heart. But you see this beautiful thing here? Boop. You don't take damage. You'll dodge any form of damage you take. Energy. You have a blue bar that fills up quickly unless you're running or in the air. This is basically just a bar to pretty much track what your abilities are being used. Each ability you have will use a different amount of the actual bar itself, and the core reason behind it is just to help alleviate spam. Another ability will take up a little bit of the bar in order to function, which we'll go over these abilities a little later. Fatigue. You have a grey bar that recharges very slowly, but only whenever you stand still. Don't run out, or you will take a nap by force. Most of the time you won't ever see that fill up before you actually die, but it is something to keep in mind, because more often than not, especially when it comes to your blue bar will run out as you dodge abilities. In a majority of cases you will end up dying before you actually, well, because Dumbass Me didn't quite explain it properly. Basically, it's a bar that goes up with certain ability types. Not all ability types will actually cause any form of exhaustion, but things such as dodge and a few of the other more powerful ones will cause it to go up by little. And whenever you do go to max thing, you'll be given darkness and blindness on top, as well as a good of weakness and slowness, which means you won't be able to jump anywhere, you won't be able to do any form of movement, and you'll pretty much be vulnerable to any form of damage to instantly kill you. Bad time. This mode changes most attacks to be more powerful or different, while attacks take more fatigue. Now, this is one of your extra keys. This is now keyed to M, which if we take a look at the controls I have done here, your active power quaternary, which is what I've got keyed to M right now. While in bad time, energy will go up and your fatigue goes up naturally. Any moves with this symbol are also affected by bad time. Basically, on all the other abilities, you'll see these blue little symbols here, meaning that they change in bad time mode and become maybe more powerful, maybe become just a different color, or many different other things along those lines. We'll go over bad time mode properly after I explain all the other abilities though. Karmic Retribution. All of your attacks will deal karma, a poison-like effect that goes down faster the more you have. Now, there's a very easy way to test this on yourself. Throw a skeleton, throw a bone at the wall, walk into it, and you can kill yourself with it. You can tell you get the karma by this little purple facade around your body. Walking into it quickly, walking back. It is a poison-like thing that will tick down a lot faster depending on how much you get hit. So if you get hit once by any form of sand bones, you will only go down at the normal poison tick. But each consecutive hit you take from any of Sand's abilities will stack that karma up. And there will be a certain point where it just ticks down so fast that you're pretty much instantaneously dead. And yes, that's one thing to keep in mind. It will kill you. Bone. This will fire a singular bone with a short cooldown. This is your left button to use this ability. It's very spammable as it doesn't use any form of cooldown. And it becomes blue in bad time mode. Whenever your hand is empty, you can spam bones around. As you can see, it's a very short cooldown and you can kill things. And because of how this works, it seems... I'm going to assume this is another quirk of it being in 1.19, because I'm 90% sure this wasn't like this in 1.17. This will lead to a situation where you're starting out the game, you're trying to break a block, you'll be throwing bones indefinitely, so be very wary about going into a place where you just broke a block. But whenever you have something in your hand, you'll no longer actually use this ability, meaning that you can avoid it by just holding something. Gaster Blaster. This attack summons the skull invented by Text that will shoot a laser. This is your G ability, basically your primary ability, and whenever you press it, you'll get this beautiful guy here. Now in 1.17 there was actually a laser animation that came along with it. I think it worked in 1.18 as well from what I remember with playing around for a short, but it clearly doesn't work here. But if you press it and walk in front of... This ability might be one of the few abilities that don't work in 1.19 as the laser bar doesn't exist. But as you can see, you got some beautiful sound effects to roll along with it. And what used to happen is it'd shoot a nice little laser that would do a fair amount of damage and also do the karmic retribution. And in bad time mode, it just becomes a larger version of itself. Bone Shield. This shield is made to block incoming ranged attacks. This is your Y ability or your secondary ability, and you can sneak after using it to defend better. And in bad time mode, this attacks become a blaster instead. So summoning ourselves a husk, as we always do here, then if you press G and then shift, it doesn't seem to do anything. Personally speaking, I didn't think it did anything much in the normal version of it either, in any other versions of the Origin. So what if I do this and then shift? Yeah, nah, it doesn't do anything. The animation still exists, but I don't think the ability functionally works as what's intended. But I also don't remember it working normally in the first place. Bone Zone. This ability will summon a 9x9 grid of bones that will come out after a short delay. This one will come blue when in bad time mode, and wherever you aim your mouse, it'll start there. This one is going to be keyed to your Tennary ability, which is C currently for me. So getting out of here, we press it down. As you can see, we get the ability here. This is interesting. This is also another ability that doesn't seem to be working as intended. Yeah, so instead of it going directly where your mouse points, it just goes to above your head. Shortcut, you can stop time for half a second in order to set up attacks and move around. Press K to use this ability. That means it's going to be keyed towards your Centenary ability power, which when we press K, as you can see, it's a very interesting. This uses a lot of bars though, so keep this in mind. But basically, you press K, you can super speed move for a very, very brief moment, but you seriously got to keep in mind that this will take up half of your power bar and will only ever function for a very brief moment. So if you're moving forward, it will zoom you up for a quick moment, allowing you for an easy escape. You can counter and you will blink red for a second, and if anyone hits you, they will be punished. This is your V ability. It has a very long cooldown. As we go down here to controls, to find where V's been keyed to, this is your Septenary ability here. Summoning in another beautiful husk, we press the V button and nothing particularly much happens. Now the fun part, let's take ourselves to bad time mode. This requires M, and you'll know you're in bad time mode because everything around you is blue. Whenever you use any of your abilities, they're going, so let's say for the, ow. Your bones are now more shiny, and they are going to be flying a lot faster speed than before. They can still hurt you severely. Glass about, it's bigger, it still doesn't work, so, But you also now have two of them. It's connected to your guard thing. Again, it's still, the Gasa Blasters don't seem to functionally work. That might be its own problem. We'll figure that one out eventually. My grey bar's gone up to almost full here, so I'm just going to wait a moment. But now, the fun part of all these videos, let's take our little Sans boy here off to see the warden and see how he will handle the warding boy. Coming down here, let's hit it once, and let's get our first hit from this one over here. Is that third or fourth? I would assume it's my third. There he is. Come down here, Mr. Warden boy. You know you want to. Yep, there it is. There's nap time, and we're dead.